I saw Jurassic World Dominion. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into any spoilers. This is going to be spoiler free, so you can enjoy it on your own. Okay? Now, this new trilogy has worked when it's relied on nostalgia. So, yeah, the first one was fun because of all the callbacks to the original. The second one became the worst part of this entire franchise when it went into its own territory with that mansion auction. Oh, I still like roll my eyes just thinking about that. So, this third one doesn't just have to rely on nostalgia or callbacks. It has nostalgia and callbacks right in front of you as we get the three original stars back. Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum. And I was worried going into this that their roles were just going to be cameos, basically. But no, especially Laura Dern and Sam Neill, they are starring roles. Like, I don't know how the screen time in terms of an actual stopwatch, how it all adds up. But yeah, their screen time is equivalent to Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. Jeff Goldblum doesn't have as much screen time, but he certainly is showcased in a very significant role, and he stands out big time. For me, with these three back, Chris and Bryce just fade into the background. Like, those two start the movie off, and then Laura Dern pops up in a scene, and my eye immediately was drawn to her. And then her next scene, she meets up with Dr. Alan Grant, and we've seen that scene, and they start their adventure, and I just wanted to go with them. Like, the movie has two storylines going on. You're kind of following Bryce and Chris, and then you're following Laura and Sam. And I just want to watch Laura and Sam. Like, sorry, Chris and Bryce, I don't care about you. And I was trying to figure out why. Like, is it because of nostalgia that I care more about Ellie and Alan? No. Is it because they were introduced in a better movie directed by Steven Spielberg? No. I think it's just because Laura Dern and Sam Neill are just more charismatic movie stars. Sorry, that's the case. Like, I mean, my eye and interest, I just wanted to watch them. And one of the elements I really appreciated about this movie is the respect they give Laura Dern in very subtle ways. It's not totally in your face, but I mean, her plot line is motivated by her. She's the instigator of her own plot line. And Alan Grant is just kind of following along with her and following her lead. And there's at least two scenes where someone comes across them and is starstruck by them because they know who Dr. Ellie Sattler is and Dr. Alan Grant because of the events at Jurassic Park. And yeah, when they're starstruck by them, they first say, "Oh, you're Ellie Sattler," or "You're Alan Grant." They first address Ellie Sattler, and I found that a very interesting point. So yeah, it's not in your face what they're doing here, but yeah, I found they really showed a lot of respect to Laura Dern in this movie. So overall, it's a decent movie. The worst part is the editing. I was dumbfounded what was happening with the editing. Like, pay attention to the action sequence that happens in Malta. It literally goes from a bunch of characters standing up pointing guns at each other. Then it's like it cuts to a truck driving away. Then it cuts to Chris Pratt chasing after someone. It's all very jarring. Like, the connective tissue that normally shows you, you know, what the action is just kind of like just seems like almost like jump cuts. It's just like, whoa, oh, then now they're there, now they're there, now they're there, now that's happening. It's just a mess of an editing job. And once all the characters, the whole gang gets together, there's a sequence where they're like staring at a dinosaur, then it like cuts to one person climbing up a ladder, then they're all up the ladder, then someone's sliding down a slanted floor, then someone's grabbing a gun, and it's like, how did all that happen in 6 shots? I literally said after that action sequence was over, I leaned over to the friend I was with and whispered, how to do an action sequence in 5 shots. It's dumbfounding how badly edited this is that you don't see what is actually happening. Like, this is a far cry from the SUV sequence in Jurassic Park or the trailer sequence in The Lost World, where Steven Spielberg took his time and really showed you what was happening and you were drawn into it. Like, I mean, he didn't cut from Dr. Ian Malcolm in the SV to Dr. Ian Malcolm waving a flare, then cut to Dr. Malcolm knocked out, injured under a tree. Like, I mean, no, he showed you how all that happened. So yeah, the editing is awful here. So once again, Jurassic World Dominion's strengths are based on its reliance on the original, and in this case, its reliance on those original, very charismatic movie stars, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and one of the best, Laura Dern. So I'm going to give Jurassic World Dominion a B, and I still wish Julianne Moore popped up for a cameo. How do you not get Julianne Moore to come back in a movie? Anyways, what do you guys think of Jurassic World Dominion?